All right, what is going on, boys? We got a market recap today for February 18th, Wednesday, February 18th. Once again, another day of no trading. And I was completely wrong on my bias, and we just completely ripped to this daily for value gap on NQ. And now at this point, after we're in this area of price, there's literally nothing to execute on. So only 45 minutes into market open, but based on where the market is and where price is, I know that I'm not going to be able to take a trade. So I'm just going to go ahead and film this market recap. As always, getting into my daily bias coming into the morning, I was very, very bearish based on the fact that we had an SMT at this daily for value gap. ES had tapped it, NQ hadn't. NQ also swept out this hourly buy side up here and then put in another internal sweep on this wick here. So swept buy side, SMT at the high. We then inverted this hourly for value gap and started to make our way down lower pre-market and when the market opened. So I was very bearish, looking for us to continue to or to sell off from this point and to potentially target this 4-hour low here and then the daily low down here, which was also the previous day's low. So those are my targets coming to the day. And honestly, like that's a valid bias for me. Everything was telling me lower, so it is what it is. Sometimes you're just wrong on your bias and what you think is going to happen. Um, and that's okay. That's just a day of no trades and data collection. So that's exactly what happened today. And I really wanted to get short here. If we just come to the market opens here and we start to make our way lower right when the market opened. And I was honestly since the first candle market open, I was just waiting within this to see, am I going to get a valid entry for shorts? Because at this point in time, like we're very close to this 4-hour sell side. It's like, okay, like I really think we're gonna sell off here. So originally I was willing to go short once we put in this and kind of had these two candles here. I was willing to go short if one of these candles had actually closed below the market open candle, and if that would have happened, I would have placed a limit order at a one where I could have gotten a 1-to-1. So like once it closed below, if we come back up and tap here, I would have gotten filled, and that would have been like a 1-to-1 to that 4-hour sell side. We never closed below the market open candle. Then we come up and tap this 15-minute for value gap. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're just coming back up and stalling out because we're going to come back up and tap the 15 and then we're going to sell off from there. And same situation right here. I was looking to short this candle. I remember this 948 candle opened up, and you can see it's a pretty large wick to the downside, but it opened up and started to sell off very fast. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're about to sell off. I just need this candle to close and then I can enter, and that's exactly why I wanted it to close, because we got an ugly wick to the downside. We come down, close up here. I'm like, okay, well, if the next candle closes below this wick here, I will probably get in to something very similar if we close below this wick, and we never did. And we ended up just ripping face to the upside to this daily for value gap. And so at this point in time, after ripping face past this 15-minute, it's like, okay, like we're not going to sell off. If we wanted to sell off, we would have done so right then and there, either right when the market opened, or we would have done so out of this 15-minute. But now that we're just placing higher here, and honestly, if you were going to take an entry higher, it would have been this 5-minute candle close, pretty much. Yeah, it would have been on this candle close right here, which is also the 5-minute close. But like I said, all throughout here, I'm looking to go short. So that would have been an insane. Like I was still looking to go short. We were still holding this 1 minute for value gap. So 2 candles before this candle closed, I was still looking to go short. That just would have been a crazy, crazy bias flip. Um, and like I said, we had SMT at the highs. Like the higher time frame, in my opinion, was telling me lower. Um, but once we started to move up, like in this range here, I'm like, okay, we're definitely going long. Like even though we have the SMT, it still makes sense for NQ to go tap its daily gap. Um, like it still makes sense, right? That's just not what the market was telling me coming into the market open. But now that we failed to go lower, we're displacing higher. It's like, okay, now it makes sense that we're going to continue higher to the daily gap at this point in time. And I mean, I was willing to go long. We just never got a pullback within this range at all. So I was willing to take something like a 1-to-1 to this daily for value gap, go break even at this internal high here. Uh, yeah, man, at this point, I literally had a limit order set for something exactly like this. And you can see there just was never ever any sort of pullback. So unless you entered on that 5-minute candle close, there was no opportunity to go long either. So unfortunate stuff. Long weekend, no trades, or bank holiday Monday, no trades Tuesday, no trade Wednesday. Um, but I can be thankful, even though it's a day of no trades, it's also a day of protecting capital, and it's a day where I followed my rules and I didn't prematurely enter a short position down here, which would have resulted in a loss. So I stuck with what I wanted to see. I stuck with, my rules. I didn't get emotional and enter early or FOMO into anything. So, like, it's still a good day of execution wise and, like, actually viewing the market and the charts and the candlesticks. Um, so, yeah, that was my analysis for today. And like I said, we'll just have to wait and see Thursday, Friday, if we're going to get opportunity. I'd expect one of those days to at least give us a very nice, good moving, good volatility, like good price action to execute on. Um, so yeah, man, that's the recap. That's what I'm looking for going into next week. Who knows what we're gonna do from this daily for value gap right here. Obviously, I would love to just sell off. I've been wanting the equities, these indexes, to sell off for the past couple weeks now. Since about right here, we just came down, came up, came down. I don't know what we're doing. We're just been in this consolidation for a long time. So we'll see if that weakness finally starts to come through to end the week out of that daily for value gap. So we'll just have to wait and see what we get offered going into Thursday and Friday. So yeah, that's the market recap. Let me know if you took anything. Like I said, I thought literally the only valid trade this morning would have been like a long off of this 5-minute close or something like that. So let me know what y'all saw, if y'all took a trade or not. And I appreciate you watching, man. I will see you tomorrow in the market recap. Peace.